This painting is titled The Nightmare, and it's exciting because it's probably going to be the cover to the new graphic novel I'm doing with Ave, who's Ukrainian, and we've had this wonderful collaboration going from the beginning of the war. And when I left Ukraine last time, I looked at Ave and I could see how much working together meant to her, and I said, well, it doesn't have to stop. And so the process is she sends me her drawings, and then I incorporate them into this composition, and I send mine back, and we have this great dialogue. Before the war, she'd never done anything political. She loved to illustrate books on plants and insects and animals and things, like she loves botanical art. Her employment is, there's a company like Lego, and she does these beautiful drawings of what you can, for children can make with these Lego blocks. And got this amazingly accurate style. She's a great graphic artist. One of the most interesting periods for me in art is German Expressionism. I love Katie Kollwitz's work and Otto Dix and George Grosz and all those people. And I realised that I'd be in a war zone in Europe equivalent to World War II when those artists were working under the Nazis. And I thought it'd be like going back in a time machine to be able to work with artists. The artists that I fell in love with, the work was Ave, because I just saw it on a wall in Odessa, particularly because of one drawing of an insect creature which was like mine. A curator had taken it off the internet, and she keeps her identity secret. I was able to track her down, and it's become the great collaboration of my life. We're absolutely in harmony as artists. People sometimes find it difficult to work out what I've done and what Ave's done. So it's just wonderful. This would never have been possible in the past with artists, that when we're in Ukraine, obviously we work together face to face, in the same space. We created a studio to work in at the House of Culture in Irpin. But now we're working just as well. She scans what she does and I photograph what I do, and we send them backwards and forwards. And it's very, very rare where, like I can say to Ave, you've done two figures crouching in fear. How about, taking that and now putting in a baby? And most artists say, oh, no, that's what I've done. You've got to live with it. This is me, you're coming into my creative area. It's that kind of relationship where we can, we've never had any conflict over anything, and we've created hundreds of works together now. I've got a very, very unusual style and vision, and I've never found any other artist in my life that came close to it. In drawing, there's two kinds of artists. There's ones like Matisse, who, Matisse said, art should be like an easy chair where you can relax in it. And then there's a tradition of people like Goya with his dark drawings, and the first artist whose work I fell in love with was Audrey Beardsley. So there's dark, doesn't mean evil, but there's artists who draw in a manner which is dark. Dürer, my favourite drawing of all time is Dürer's Night, Death and the Devil. I draw a bit like Dürer, and so does Ave. And we both really, in many ways, come out of that European tradition. But for this particular painting, the kick-off was this work by Gustave Doré, and it's about Gargantua, who's, you can see this monster's eating people. And once again, Doré was part of that era of the French Revolution and all that fear and so on at that time. So I'm doing something very difficult at the moment. I'm trying to copy Ave as faithfully as I can. She knows that we're doing this work for the Deakin University, and she's thrilled. She'd been working harder on it than I have. And I've come late with my drawing. And the first one she did was this amazing one of the mouths open and the big tongue. Surrealism is all about trusting the subconscious mind and not the rational mind. And I'm very much a rational mind kind of person, you know, like making films and things. And Ave said right from the start, George, we're going to rely more on the subconscious. So with her drawing, she just starts and she finds it as she goes. I'm much more conceptual than that. I try to have an idea and a theme, and I've benefited greatly from when I was younger. I used to be like Ave, and she's brought me back to doing that. When the war started, she decided she'd do a drawing every day of the war, which she has done. At the moment it's hard because she's got a young baby, Penelope, and with all the bombs and things going off, the baby's crying a lot. Most of the people in Irpin's houses have been completely destroyed, and it was too dangerous for them to be allowed to come in to check their houses. You know, it's still a war zone. So the government organised 4 buses to bring people in to check out their houses. And it would be depressing for them because they'd be hoping their houses survived, and virtually nothing had survived. So the bus drivers saw what we were doing and thought it was really positive. And the buses at the end of this depressing day would bring them around to the House of Culture, and Ave and I would be working on the wall or something, and people would get out and they'd say, oh, it's so wonderful that someone's come all the way from Australia to do something like this. It's just beautiful to do this for Deakin University, and hopefully you'll find a wall for it somewhere. This image will travel around the world. I'll post it, and Ave will post it, so that the soldiers who are currently fighting the Russians will see this, and they'll read it, and they'll be able to read the visual language.